On Sunday, September 11th, I attended SneakerXchange Long Island. This event was held from 12 to 5 p.m. at the Hilton on Long Island in the Grand Central Ballroom. There was definitely a plethora of some amazing kicks at this show and some good times to be had by all. What's going on? Sailboat from Sailboat Supplies here. It is Sunday, September 11th, and we have on Long Island SneakerXchange. First time doing this show. It is in a ballroom at a Hilton, so it's kind of an interesting setup. We just got here, checked in, and we've already unloaded, so we're starting to set up a little bit. I'm gonna take you guys over to the actual booth, and we'll kind of go from there. All right, so here we are, Soul Exchange. This is at the Hilton at Long Island. It's in this like little ballroom. The actual loading procedure was pretty easy. Definitely not quite as congested as a lot of these bigger conventions that we got going on. It was pretty easy to just like check in, get to our spot, and the spot that we have in the venue is actually pretty dope. Get a little bit of extra for a wall spot as per usual, and we're about to hop in there and check it out, so let's go. Luckily, the entry to the ballroom was only about 50 feet from the entry of the hotel, which made it very easy to load and unload when the time came. So like I said, we're in a ballroom at a Hilton. It's giving me prom vibes for sure. I'm gonna cruise around real quick, check this place out. The stand's already set up. Obviously, I'll show you guys what the stand looks like. Because of the location, we were able to set up kind of a more unique display, about as best as we could do with like a 6-foot long table. So SneakerXchange Long Island was held at the Hilton Hotel on Long Island in the Grand Central Ballroom. This ballroom was big enough to host about 50 to 60 vendors that each had a 3-foot by 6-foot fold-out table. After getting my booth all set up, it was time to take a lap around the venue to see what the other vendors had to offer. I won't lie, it was pretty quick and easy getting around SneakerXchange just due to the small surface area that the event actually covered. I will admit though, there was an absolutely amazing selection of vendors there, some of them that were carrying some absolutely amazing kicks, such as Lisco NY. That's the Long Island Sneaker Company. They have an absolutely insane array of some old school dunks and some new school heat. Just looking at these cases alone, you can see the hundreds of thousands of dollars that they've invested into their inventory, and it definitely shows because this collection is one of the most epic I have seen in a long time. Just a couple yards down from the Long Island Sneaker Company was New York Soul Swap. New York Soul Swap also had an insanely impressive booth with a ton of exclusive and high-end heat for inventory. As I continued to walk around the rest of the venue, I started to see a pretty wide selection of different sneakers, but I did see a trend towards dunk and off-white type of stuff at this specific event. There were a lot of other accessories and streetwear, even some video game stuff at this specific event. And I even got to see some familiar faces that I had seen the day before at Soul Factory in Boston. As I continued to cruise around, I found Kicks and Cards Long Island, and they had a crazy good selection of both sports cards as well as Pokemon cards. They were one of the only other vendors that I saw at this specific venue that were actually selling any cards. And I'm not gonna lie, they had a lot more than I did to sell. They also had a pretty good selection of kicks directly to the right of their cards. As I kept cruising around, I found Liaison Studios, who had an off-white inspired dunk that was actually inspired by Randy Johnson hitting a bird with one of his pitches. Even though the venue itself was pretty small, there was still a lot to see. For example, this marijuana edible station, which I was really surprised even existed at an event like this. There were also some different vendor booths that were selling some rugs, Funko Pops, video games, and a ton of Supreme accessories that I could find as well. It was pretty dope to see the selection because this clearly was not just a sneaker enthusiast event. This was an event for collectibles of all sorts. 12 o'clock, so theoretically doors just opened. I already gave you guys a quick little cruise around. It is a rather small venue, but there's a lot of really cool stuff here. There are a lot of just like dope alternative sneakers out there that you don't see on a day-to-day basis. There are a couple of really impressive stands that just have some absolute grails, and hopefully the traffic is gonna be pretty good. Sounds like show's about to start, so yeah. Let's check it out.
With DJ Tone, Quality Control's finest.
I guess the show is starting now. So unfortunately, right after the show started, it didn't really pick up too quickly, but I did have some people coming through, and there were a lot of people that were asking me about all of the different Sole Swap hybrids. The Yeezy 350 golf cleat actually seemed to be one of the most popular items on the table of the day, and a lot of people were there to check it out.
It's about 1:30. I just made my first sale of the day. Sold a pair of Air Jordan 5 Oreos from the 2013 release. Sold them for a great price, actually. The guy was super nice. Foot traffic is actually not halfway bad. We got a lot of people coming through asking about the customs.
Unfortunately, foot traffic did not really pick up much throughout the course of the rest of the day, and it seemed to be primarily resellers and vendors buying off of other vendors. I decided to cruise around and check out the other vendors that I hadn't been able to give any love to in the previous portions of the video, and I decided to check out what else was for sale. I found out that a lot of the traffic in between the aisles seemed to be due to individuals that had actually brought in carts filled with sneakers and were just kind of parking their carts in the middle of the aisle, which was just impeding traffic a bit. As I cruised through, I recognized the crazy variation of different types of kicks, different types of streetwear, different collectibles and apparel and accessories that were being sold at every single stand. It was pretty cool to see such a different variation from what I'm used to on the West Coast, and it's definitely something that's going to take some time adjusting. Getting to know the culture over in the Northeast has been pretty crazy so far, but it's been a really fun experience, and I can't wait to check out some more shows in the near future and see what they have to hold, because this one definitely showed me that vendors have a huge selection over in the Northeast, and it's something that I'm not used to seeing.
10 till 4, and unfortunately this event has been relatively slow. Other than the one sale earlier, I have not made any other sales. No Pokemon, not really that many people even coming over to the booth anymore. Yeah, it's just quiet in here. We've had a lot of really good interactions today. Met a lot of really genuine people. Unfortunately, sales just super slow. I'm gonna do a quick little lap around here. Like I said, overall, just a little bit slow in general.
So as you'll notice as I walk through, it's pretty much the same type of traffic as was seen earlier in the show, but you can also tell that there are a couple of tables that have not only packed up all the way, but are just totally gone from the show. Things seem to be ending kind of early, and we decided to do the same thing, getting packed up before the show even formally ended.
4:47, and we are already cleared up, ready to go. We sold the one pair, but that's it. Basically everybody else is clearing up and getting ready to go. There's already a lot of tables that are just totally packed up and gone now. Give you guys a quick look around, but that's about it.
So pretty crazy to think that 15 minutes until the end of the show, already about 10 to 20% of all the vendors had packed up and left already.
Light foot traffic, but it is what it is. I guess a couple of the guys that were reselling pretty heavy came through and cashed out tables earlier on in the day for some people. Didn't happen for us, however. One pair sold, no Pokemon cards. Locked in with another event coming up in a couple months, about 2 months from now. At least we're keeping things moving and on the right track to discover more events. That just about does it. Slower show for this one, but hey, we're learning over here on the East Coast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure that you like, subscribe, hit the website, www.sailboatsupplies.xyz. Make sure to comment. Let me know if you guys attended SneakerXchange and what you thought of it. Thank you to everybody that stuck around until the cold bitter end. You guys already know I'm Sailboat, and I'm out of here.